YNW Melly and a second suspect are accused of killing 2 other aspiring rappers and staging it as a drive-by shooting.
Demmons and Henry are charged with killing their friends and co-members of their YNW collective.
And 2 men are in jail this morning, including an up-and-coming Florida rapper. Both men are charged in a double murder.
Juvy and Sakchaser stood with Melly like true brothers, but little did they know their brotherhood would be cut short at such a young age.
I knew from day one.
So when you say you knew from day one, you felt that Melly and Portland had something to do with this?
Yes, ma'am.
They never came to town, never came to my son's funeral, never came to Sak's funeral, and these are your best friends.
Some point the finger at Melly, while others are left clueless as to what really happened that night.
Leave me alone. All the way. Don't text me. All the way. And I mean that.
Anthony YNW Sakchaser and Christopher YNW Juvy were more than upcoming rappers from Gifford, Florida. They were childhood friends who grew up with YNW Melly. Every song Melly made felt incomplete without them.
I reloaded my pistol, cocked it back and shot him twice. His body dropped down to the floor.
When the young new wave crew was formed, Juvy and Sakchaser were his right-hand men.
For sure, it was all that we started that shit. It was me, Melly, and Juvy and Seth. We was all in the group, like we all had like.
To others, it was merely a rap group, but to them, it was family. Parties, concerts, and drugs, they did everything together. But on the night of October 25th, their loyalty, and even their lives, everything was put to the test.
We're going to have a break in the case of a double murder in Miramar.
2 people now behind bars, including a South Florida rapper who actually sings a popular song about murder.
It was a simple night when the crew left the studio in Miramar, Florida, in a Jeep.
Prior to the shooting, Melly, Portland, Juvy, Sakchaser, and a few others were at a recording studio in South Florida for what was supposed to be a 12-hour recording session.
The streets were quiet until another car suddenly pulled up alongside them.
When Mr. Williams was shot, Mr. Thomas puts up his hands and is shot, and then is shot again.
Bullets started shattering everywhere, and it seemed like a war zone.
It was enough time for the heart to stop beating, for there to be no circulation due to the wounds that I examined from the medical examiner's office.
YNW Juvy and YNW Sakchaser were hit by multiple gunshots, and only a few breaths remained. By 4:35 in the morning, the Jeep rushed to the hospital emergency room.
According to prosecutors, Henry pulled up to a Miramar, Florida hospital on October 26, 2018, saying Thomas and Williams were bleeding out in his vehicle.
The Jeep was filled with holes, and the interior was stained with blood. Both Juvy and Sakchaser were pronounced dead at the spot.
He alleged it was a drive-by shooting, but when officials reached the vehicle, Thomas and Williams were already dead with gunshot wounds to their heads and torsos.
For many, it was just another rapper lost to a street feud. But it turned out that the demon was already in the car. He was none other than their childhood friend and brother, YNW Melly.
Because they showed that Melly was at the location. Now, beyond a reasonable doubt, that's up to the jury, but I think this is just my opinion.
To cover up the case, he staged it as a drive-by shooting and even shared a heart-wrenching post. He even tried to keep up the cover by going on podcasts and showing his face tattoos, just to prove how much he loved his brothers.
No, I got Sakchaser right here. That's my brother. That's my twin.
Okay.
I got Juvy.
Juvy?
That's my brother.
Just a lot of your friends who passed?
Yeah. Nah, them my niggas right there.
But as whispers turned into loud rumors, the case caught the court's eye.
Another twist just released in the double murder trial involving South Florida rapper YNW Melly.
Investigators closed in, and YNW Melly was arrested. From there, he was kept under strict investigation, considering it was a high-profile case.
YNW Melly and a second suspect are accused of killing 2 other aspiring rappers and staging it as a drive-by shooting.
From the moment police saw the bullet-riddled Jeep, something felt off. A .40 caliber casing lay inside. In a real drive-by, it would have fallen outside.
My determination was that this is not a drive-by shooting. The shooter is at a stationary position when all but one of these rounds are going in.
It meant someone had fired a gun from inside the Jeep. Furthermore, cell phone data added more suspicion.
He then asks his mother to buy him a Glock ASAP and telling her, "Let go now."
So you want to get another gun to protect yourself. So I think it makes perfect sense. And whereas his communication via text with other gang members.
The autopsy drove the point further home. Both Juvy and Sakchaser died from shots that traveled left to right through their skulls.
The interior, this is the rear passenger seat. And as you notice, there's many items of thick congealed blood, there's many items inside the vehicle.
But then came a witness. He claimed Melly's clothes weren't the same anymore. Something had changed, and investigators knew it.
Or different clothes than when you saw him at the studio.
It was a new bit. Nah, he wasn't.
Nah, he wasn't. You guys
wasn't wearing the same clothes.
Meanwhile, the court dug further into the messages, and they found a thrilling confession.
What does the YNW Melly account state?
I did that with a smiley emoji.
But the defense's lone witness flipped the case. He swore Melly switched cars before the murders and was home when the news broke.
Melly's friend, Adrian Davis. Davis seemingly turned the prosecution's case on its head.
And what was the purpose of going to the studio?
To make music.
After 14 hours of deliberation, the jury hung. Mistrial.
After days of deliberations, the jury was deadlocked, leading the judge to declare a mistrial.
Prosecutors vowed to retry the case, still seeking the death penalty. But in 2025, one of his friends, YNW Bortland, was also declared involved in the shooting.
Melly's co-defendant, YNW Bortland, was booked into a Miami jail Monday night and is being held behind bars on an out-of-county warrant.
Even though the mastermind seems to be Melly, the court still needed some solid witnesses to make the final verdict.
Do you understand the charges and the maximum possible penalties involved? And in exchange for all of that, the state has offered that I would adjudicate you guilty and sentence you to the bottom of your sentencing guidelines. But if you don't accept it, and one of these trials doesn't go your way, and you end up with life in Florida State Prison, which is a mandatory sentence.
Now, all eyes are on YNW Bortland. YNW's final verdict and fate are still dependent on this guy. If he accepts the plea deal, that will be the end of YNW Melly. This whole case feels like a cruel twist of fate. Melly once called Sakchaser and Juvy his brothers, his family, his ride or die. But brotherhood turned into betrayal, and loyalty ended in blood. Sometimes the greatest danger doesn't come from enemies outside, but from the people we trust the most.